we're seeing quite a lot of big names enter the space as well. Like JP Morgan, for example. What has been the upside and downside of more institutional debt and big names like this in the bridging market in terms of unique offerings and margin?
Yeah, so I think like the upside is, and I think I mentioned this before, the institutionalisation of the market and the ability for the market and people to take notice of the market externally has been a huge positive. I think bridging finance has become more of a vanilla offering, and I think that has gained a much wider audience, which can only be a good thing from a business development and growth perspective. And we've seen the market grow significantly as these things have moved on. It's also given a number of clients a real ability to grow, and not just grow in bridging markets, but then also grow into other adjacent markets, which is a real positive. I think negatives, and I think you might have picked up on the kind of pricing and product point, is that whilst there is some differentiation between different funders in this market, there is also a minimum standard on products. And I think what I would like to see more of is a number of those funders looking into, for example, more development style products and giving originators within this market optionality and helping them to be able to grow. And I still think that there is a lot of structure and bureaucracy around a lot of these facilities, and so just making things a little bit easier for originators is something that we're really passionate about, and taking some of the complexity out of these structures.
Yeah, I think downside wise, depending on where you sit, these bigger names, bigger funders are normally attracted to the bigger lenders, and so what you may see over time is just that gap widen between the terms that a very large bridging lender can provide and those that are a bit smaller. And as those facilities get bigger and in theory cheaper, that gap potentially could widen. So I think that's probably the biggest downside, but it depends on which side of the fence you sit, right? Whether you're a larger lender or a smaller one.
Sure. Do you expect that, obviously, with that gap happening, the mid-market in the bridging space, will that start to become more underserved?
I think in terms of, it's difficult to talk about mid-market. I mean, we've always talked about it as being by size of bridging lender. So you've had the very large ones, and then there's been a bit of a gap, and then kind of a quite a long tail of smaller lenders, and that mid piece just seems quite empty, to be honest. And I think it probably gets harder and harder to leap from being a small bridging lender to a bigger one as those facilities just get better and better for those larger lenders.